brown or simply brown or brown?
Oh, that's getting very difficult here.
How about yellow?
Okay. Yeah?
Oh, yes, okay. There we are. Thank you.
And that's it. Okay. Don't forget to sign the hookah.
I did.
Okay.
Don't forget to sign the hookah outside.
I wish Jane and Ken a wonderful life together. I've known Janie since she was a baby, and I had many happy times with her as she was growing up. That's about it.
Hear you.
Okay, Janie and Ken, I'm so happy to be here today. You always, especially Janie, meant a lot to me. I know you since you were a little girl, and I was very close. I loved your father, who gave me the most wonderful books in the world. So this is it. You had to marry somebody who sells books. That's the only way. It should be fantastic. All my best wishes. You're on the right way.
Okay.
All right, so say something.
Who are you?
I'm Manny Stern, and I'm a friend of Jean. Actually, we are schoolmates. That's where we met. We met in Mount Kisco, Temple Bet Torah. Is that him? Oh, Jonathan Perlman, yes. She was. And I really only met Ken once, which is sort of interesting. They came down about 6-8 months ago for a bar mitzvah at the temple. And Jean introduced me to Ken and said, "We're going to get married. If we invite you to the wedding, would you care to come?" And I said, "Wonderful, we'd love to." And it was marvelous to see how excited she was. She said such wonderful thing about their relationship. It was exquisite. It was exquisite to see it because she'd been down at a low point in her life at that time, and it was just very exciting to see how she and Ken related. That's all I really have to say.
Any wishes would you like to send her?
I wish him many, many years. I mean, I've been married for 40 years now, and I only wish him as many years of love and happiness as anyone could want. They seem to be well on their way. That's all I can say. A great hearty mazel tov.
Ken and Jane's wedding, August 7th, 1994. What it boils down to is Ken and Jane are my best friends. It's fantastic to be here and celebrate their wedding together. A mazel tov all around, and I think it's going to be a wonderful time. I'm going to miss seeing them on a regular basis since I'm moving out to Columbus, but hopefully we will see each other as I come back to the East Coast periodically. It's something that I wouldn't miss for everything in the world. So once again, mazel tov, and let's have a wonderful day.
How do you do? Much. It is indeed a pleasure to meet you at such a happy occasion. How come you rated an invitation?
I don't know. I'm thrilled to have been invited, and it's so exciting seeing all these unfamiliar but happy faces, and I'm delighted to be here.
Well, you talk about happy faces. What am I doing here?
Beats me. And we're just so delighted that Ken and Jane are together, and we wish them many years of happiness and wedded bliss. Do you agree?
We certainly do, and this glorious, glorious day is a fitting omen for the success of their marriage.
Should have got it before and after. Oh my. Oh, okay. I thought you were looking for that. I don't know what the veil is going to be. You can see right through that veil.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do?
Okay, why don't you sit down? There's a veil.
Did you blow the shofar?
No, I'm going to blow it after this.
Okay.
Just want to just put it out.
So bad.
Okay, I'm going to read the chuppah, the ketubah, which we will sign in just a moment. And then Ken and Jane will accept the obligations which are in it. Are the witnesses here? All the witnesses here? Is there a right of first refusal?
No, I think we don't have 4 because my aunt is a blood relative.
ב-30 לחודש מנחם אב, א' של ראש חודש אלול, בשנת 5754 לבריאת העולם, התואם את יום השביעי לחודש אוגוסט, שנת 1994 לספירת האומות, בעיר נורת'המפטון, במדינת מסצ'וסטס, בארצות הברית של אמריקה, בעל חתן יקותיאל בן יצחק, ובלה, זיכרונם לברכה, והכלה חנה בת שלמה, וג'ין, זיכרונם לברכה. וג'יין, זיכרונם לברכה. ועמדו לפני משפחותיהם וידידיהם, תחת החופה, ונכנסו יחד כשותפים בברית קידושין, על פי דת משה וישראל. On the first day of the week, Parashat Re'eh, on 30th day of the month Menachem Av, that being the first day of Rosh Chodesh Elul, in the year 5754, corresponding to the 7th day of August, in the secular year 1994. In the city of Northampton, Massachusetts, the groom, Kenneth, son of Irving and Betty, and the bride, Jane, daughter of Sioma and Jane, stand under the chuppah before family and friends to make a mutual covenant as husband and wife, partners in marriage according to the laws of Moses in Israel. Together they will build their home as a sanctuary of love and peace, shared with the community of Israel, guided by reverence for God, the teachings of Israel, and the Torah and the mitzvot, linked eternally to the history of our ancestors and the future of our people. As beloveds and friends, they promise to build memories together, to share joy and sadness, to honor each other, and cherish their differences to be a source of strength for one another, and to nurture their children within the covenant of Israel. We have followed the legal formula of symbolic delivery between the bridegroom and bride, and all that is stated above is valid and binding. And now you have to show your symbolic acceptance of the conditions in the ketubah by pulling on this pen. Don't take it, you just pull on it. And by pulling on it, you accept the obligation. So if you can live with that, do that first. Okay. And Ken? Okay, now the witnesses, you have to attest that this is Jane and that this is Ken, and they are the people that are in this document.
A clown.
And you saw them pull on the pen to accept these obligations. If you can bring yourself to do that, to testify to that, then sign. You can sign in both.
Hebrew here, English here.
Right. Want to use this? Okay.
Here?
This is the Hebrew.
Next witness?
Betty?
Do
you know your name in Hebrew?
No, I don't.
You don't, then sign it here in English.
Just sign it.
Not to worry, not to worry.
But No, she runs
Okay.
away.
Who's next?
Is she not going to sign in Hebrew?
No, she does.
Okay.
Did you read? I'm sure.
Can you get
So
her to
there'll be a
write it
blank.
afterwards?
There'll be a blank. Yeah, get it right after
Yeah,
Miss
yeah.
Tracy.
And over here.
Sarah?
Okay.
Okay.
It's me now, right?
That's all right. Okay. Okay, let's roll this up so you know it's... I'll take this and bring it with me. Now, Ken, why don't you stand up? And you stand up, Jane, and face each other. And you'll lift the veil to make sure it's the right kala. Is it? It is. What do you know? Okay, repeat after me. Ken, repeat after me. Could it be anyone else?
Tehi'at
Tehi'at
ke'alfei
ka'alfei
rivava.
rivava.
Yivarechecha
Yivarechecha
Adonai
Adonai
v'yishmerecha.
Yishmerecha.
Ya'er Adonai
Ya'er Adonai
panav elecha
Anav Elecha
v'chunecha.
Vichunecha.
Yisa Adonai
Yisa Adonai
panav elecha
Panav Elecha
v'yasem lecha
Yasem Lecha
shalom.
Shalom.
Amen. Let's do it in English. May God bless you
May God bless you
and keep you.
and keep you.
May God cause God's light
May God cause God's light
to shine upon you
to shine upon you
and be gracious to you.
and be gracious to you.
May God lift God's countenance
May God lift God's countenance
to you
to you
and give you peace.
and give you peace.
Amen.
Amen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to blow the shofar. And then
We're
then you're going to
going.
be out of it.
Maybe we should wait until you
We'll go after.
You want to hear the shofar?
Sure.
Let me yell at Tekiah. Yeah.
Tekiah!
Okay. I'm testing it. Okay, we'll wait a few minutes, and then we'll have the procession. All right, we just signed the ketubah in front of witnesses. The ketubah is the marriage contract where they make obligations to each other, mutual obligations. And then we did the bedecking ceremony where Ken lifts up Jane's veil to make sure that it's the right bride, because in ancient times Jacob got the wrong bride. And now, so we don't repeat that mistake again, we lift up the veil to show that it is the right bride. Then we blew the shofar as a symbol of the ceremony is about to start, and also because it's Rosh Chodesh Elul. And the shofar is blown every day in Rosh Chodesh Elul, and we chose to blow it right now rather than this morning in honor of the wedding today.
And what happens next?
Now we have the procession, and they come and they stand under the chuppah, and we have the wedding ceremony. And that will be all. They'll be married.
Let's not overdo it. Adoration, the whole thing.
Baruch haba mi adir al hakol, mi baruch al hakol, mi gadol al hakol, mi dagul al hakol. Hu yivarech, hu yivarech et echatan, v'et hakala. Berucha haba mi ban siach shoshan chochim ahavat kala mesos dodim. Hu yivarech, hu yivarech et echatan, v'et hakala.
May you who are here be blessed in the name of the Lord. We bless you from this house of the Lord. Our heavenly God, source of holiness, help us to see the sacred dimension of all life. Guide this bridegroom and bride, the realization of sanctity and devotion every day, as today. Help them to renew their love continually, as you renew creation. May their concern for each other reflect your concern for all humanity, and may their loving faithfulness reflect your love. Throughout the years, may they hallow their life together, that the home they establish become a blessing to all Israel. May your light illumine their lives, and let us say Amen. In happiness and joy, we thank God for the blessing of love, which we celebrate today, formally consecrating the love of Ken and Jane for each other. May they always rejoice in their love, graced by delight through their mutual affection. O God, source of all blessing, fulfill every wish of their hearts. Open their eyes to the beauty and the mystery of the love they hold for each other, every day as today. May their life together embrace and nurture the promise of this moment, so that all who know them will call them truly blessed. And we say Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen. Praised are you, Lord our God, sovereign of the universe, who creates the fruit of the vine. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al ha'arayot, v'asar lanu et ha'arusot, v'hitir lanu et ha'nesuot, al yidei chuppah v'kiddushin. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh amo Yisrael, b'chuppah v'kiddushin. Praised are you, Lord our God, sovereign of the universe, who has sanctified us with commandments. and instructed us concerning the laws of engagement. Take a sip. Leave some for later. Have rings? Rings in it? James. You take James' ring. Then put it on her index finger. And repeat after me. Hare.
Hare.
At.
At.
Mikudeshet.
Mikudeshet.
Li.
Li.
B'tabaat.
B'tabaat.
Zo.
Zo.
Kedat Moshe.
Kedat Moshe.
V'Yisrael.
V'Yisrael.
You are betrothed to me.
You are betrothed to me.
With this ring.
With this ring.
According to the laws.
According to the laws.
Of Moses.
Of Moses.
And Israel.
And Israel.
Okay, so just put it on. Wear it however you would wear it. Okay. Same thing. Put it in this index finger. Repeat after me. Hare.
Hare.
Ata.
Ata.
Mikudash.
Mekudash.
Li. B'tabaat zo.
B'tabaat zo.
Kedat.
Kedat.
Moshe v'Yisrael.
Moshe v'Yisrael.
You are betrothed to me.
You are betrothed to me.
By this ring.
By this ring.
According to the laws.
According to the laws
of Moses
and Israel.
No, it already. Congratulations, you're now engaged to be married. We'll continue and get you married in a little while. We still have a little more work to do before that happens. We are going to read the ketubah now out loud, which you accepted just a few moments ago. And now we will read it in public so we can acclaim your acceptance of the conditions in the ketubah. If you can hand it to me. Yom Rishon b'Shabbat, Parashat Re'eh, B'shloshim lechodesh Menachem Av, Aleph shel Rosh Chodesh Elul, B'shnat Chameshet Alafim Shva Me'ot Chamishim V'Arba L'Briat Olam, HaTo'em et Yom HaShvi'i lechodesh August, Shnat Elef Tshah Me'ot Tishim V'Arba L'Sfirat HaUmot, the year Northampton, the Medinat, Massachusetts, V'Artzot HaBrit shel America, Ba'al HaChatan Yekutiel Ben Yitzchak, U'Be'ela Zichronam Livracha, V'Kala Chana bat Shlomo v'Jane, Zichronam Livracha. Ve'amdu lifnei mishpachotehem v'yididehem tachat achupa v'nichnasu yachad keshutafim v'vrit kiddushin al pidat Moshe v'Yisrael. On the first day of the week, Parashat Re'eh, on the 30th day of the month of Menachem Av, that being the first day of Rosh Chodesh Elul, in the year 5754, corresponding to the 7th day of August, in the secular year 1994. In the city of Northampton, Massachusetts, the groom Kenneth, son of Irving and Betty, and the bride Jane, daughter of Sioma and Jane, stand under the chuppah before family and friends to make a mutual covenant as husband and wife, partners in marriage according to the laws of Moses and Israel. And this was signed just a few moments ago and accepted by the bride and the groom. You'll have to give it to someone that you trust to hold for you for the rest of the ceremony. You trust your daughter? Okay. You can hold it. So Ken and Jane, the program calls for a Dvar Torah now, which you asked for. And for me, for my grandfather, a Dvar Torah meant gematria. And gematria is an old Hasidic custom where you take the numerical value of Hebrew letters and have them add up to something that is cosmically significant. So I decided to do that, and I can prove, using gematria, that you were made for each other. Ken, your Hebrew name is Yekutiel. In gematria, that's 166. You'll have to trust my calculations. Don't do them at home. Just trust me about them. Jane, your Hebrew name is Hannah, which in gematria is 63. Now today is Rosh Chodesh Elul. Elul in gematria is 67. 63 plus 67 is 130. Now both of you have 2 children. And so we can take 2 times chai. Chai means life, 2 living children. 2 times chai is 36. 130 plus 36 is 166. Which by coincidence, or by design, happens to be the gematria of Ken's name, Yekutiel, 166. And so we know, therefore, that you were meant for each other. Although it took a while for you to find each other, it also took me a while to get those sums to add up. But I think the results are clear. It is a perfect match. Of course, it's also appropriate that you are getting married on Rosh Chodesh Elul, and it is Rosh Chodesh Elul, no matter what anyone tells you. It is Elul, and Elul, of course, is the month to get married. And today is the day to get married because Elul is an acronym for the verse from Song of Songs, Ani L'Dodi V'Dodi Li. If you take the first letter of that verse, they all add up to Elul. And Ani L'Dodi V'Dodi Li means I am my beloved and my beloved is mine, which is our covenantal love, the love that 2 people not only feel for each other, but express in obligations that they hold for each other. It's the love that's the model for God's love for the Jewish people, a love that can't be thought of independently, of acts of loving kindness that each one serves the other. And that is your covenantal love, and that's what you commit to today and for the rest of your lives, a love where you express your love in concrete actions and deeds, in concrete commitments that you make for each other. It's also a wonderful day for you because there are verses from the Haftarah of yesterday and this coming week which are extremely appropriate. And I'll leave you with these verses. I did the Devar already, and this is the Torah part. There's a verse, beautiful verse from yesterday's Haftarah. Oniyah sa'ara lo nuchama. This is from Isaiah. Hinei anochi marbitz b'puch havanayach v'sadatich b'sapirim v'samti kadkod shimshotayach v'sha'arech la'avnei ekdach. You afflicted, storm-tossed, I set before you wonderful gems, and lay your foundations with sapphire, your pinnacles with rubies, and your gates with emeralds. It's about you two. You've been storm-tossed, gone through periods of wandering, but if you look across from each other now, at this chuppah you find a wonderful gem. And as you start your house together, a firehouse, foundations will be laid with emeralds and rubies. Another verse, Hoi kol tzameh l'chul hamayim. This also from yesterday's Haftorah. Ein lo kesef l'chul shibaru ve'echolu. V'lo kesef v'lo mechir, yain v'chalav. You who are thirsty, go to the water, and you without sustenance eat your fill. Drink wine and milk at no price. And that's about the 2 of you too, have been thirsty, faced the starvation of the soul, but you come for each other, and you look across and you see something that is as satisfying as water, but as sweet as wine, and as sustaining as milk. And finally, from next week's Haftarah, 2 verses. Suru suru tze'umisham, tamei al tiga'u tze'umitocha, ibaru nosei klei Adonai, ki lo b'chibazon teitzeu, uvim nusa lo telechun, ki olech lifechem Adonai, uma'asifchem Elohei Yisrael. Depart from here, touch no unclean thing. Go out purified, you who carry the vessels of God. For you need not go out in haste, nor need you flee. For God walks before you, and the Lord of Israel gathers you in. And this is about you, the vessels of God, the clay Adonai that you carry are each other, and the love that you feel for each other. When you come together purified, the place that you depart from is this chuppah, and you go to your fire station in Deerfield, but you don't need to hurry, and you don't need to flee because you have each other. And therefore you have the rest of your lives together. And time becomes your friend. And your destination now is not only that home, but the family that you build under this chuppah always will become your home. And that is the place where the Lord of God gathers you. Ma'asifchem Elohei Yisrael. And that's the place you'll always call home. We will now recite the 7 blessings, and the people that are going to recite the 7 blessings should come up now. First blessing. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Second blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, shehakol bara lechodo. Oh, in English. In English. You abound in blessings, Adonai our God. You created all things for your glory.
Third blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, yotzer ha'adam. Praised are you, O Lord our God, King of the universe, Creator of man.
Fourth blessing.
Holy One of blessing, your presence fills creation. You created man and women in your image, each reflecting the image of God for the other forever. Holy One of blessings, you give life to every being.
Nous honorons Dieu pour avoir créé l'homme et la femme en son image. L'homme et la femme sont un et complémentaires. Nous nous réjouissons aujourd'hui en l'union d'un homme et d'une femme qui se complémentent et deviennent en leur union divine.
שמח תשמח רעים האהובים, כשמחך יצירך בגן עדן מקדם, ברוך אתה אדוני, משמח חתן וכלה.
Grant perfect joy to these loving companions, as you did to the first man and woman in the Garden of Eden. Praised are you, O Lord, who grants the joy of bride and groom.
Sos tasis v'tagel ha'kara, b'kibbutz baneha, v'tocha b'simcha, baruch atah Adonai, mesamech Zion, b'vaneha. May Zion rejoice as her children are restored to her in joy. Praised are you, O Lord, who causes Zion to rejoice at her children's return.
Last one.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher baras asom besimcha, chatan v'chala, gilad rina nitzav v'chedva, v'achava, v'shalom b'reut. Me'er Adonai Eloheinu, shema be'arei Yehuda v'chutzot Yerushalayim, kol sason v'kol simcha, kol chatan v'kol kala, kol mitzalot chatanim v'chuchatam, unarim mimishten neginatam, baruch atah Adonai, mismeach chatan im hakala. Amen. You abound in blessings, Adonai our God, who created joy and gladness, bridegroom and bride, mirth and exaltation, pleasure and delight, love, fellowship, peace and friendship. Soon may there be heard in the cities of Judah, in the streets of Yerushalayim, the voice of joy and gladness, the voice of the bridegroom and the voice of the bride, the jubilant voice of bridegrooms from their canopies and of youths from their feasts of song. You abound in blessings, Adonai our God. You make the bridegroom rejoice with the bride.
Jerry? It's Jerry.
Sherry's right there.
As soon as she's done.
We have a second cut.
Okay.
This is a prayer. This is a prayer that comes to Janie via me through my revered teacher of Jerusalem, Colette Aboukia Muscat, who over many long years has been a very good friend to Jane and her family. And we do this as an imagery. So those of you who would like to join in, you can close your eyes. And we ask the bride and groom to close their eyes. This prayer comes from 15th century Spain, and was a marriage prayer that was done during that time. So breathe out slowly. See, sense, and feel as the sky is blessing the earth every day. Man above the woman, expand your own love. Woman, when your only man has to lift up the veil, he will find in you the serene, radiant peace of the stars. And you can open your eyes.
Anado divi amarli, umilach rayatiach batiu lechilach. Ines tavavar ageshem chalaf alachlo. Anitzanim niruva aretz eta zamirigia. The kolator nishma be'artzenu. My beloved speaks and says to me, arise, my love, my fair one, and come away. For lo, the winter is past, the rain is over and gone. The flowers appear on the earth, the time of singing has come. And the voice of the turtle dove is heard in our land. The fig tree puts forth its figs, and the vines are in blossom, they give forth fragrance. Arise, my love, my fair one, and come away. Since both of you have joined voluntarily in this ceremony, which binds you together in marriage, abiding by the laws of the state of Massachusetts, and acting in accordance with the laws of Moses and the people of Israel, you, Jane, and you, Ken, are now husband and wife. May God bless you and keep you. May God cause God's light to shine upon you and be gracious to you. May God lift God's countenance to you and give you peace. Doesn't matter, I got sandals on. It's pretty brave. Mazel tov. I know.
Boat. 22 stanza poem. I'm not going to read all 22 stanzas. All right. If you force me. The word epithalamion in Greek means upon the marriage bed. At certain moments you may want to clap your hands over the ears of your children. One other minor note. When you hear the name Hymen, it's not your Uncle Hymen. It's the Greek god of marriage. So just keep that straight. Ye learned sisters, which have oftentimes been to me aiding others to adorn, whom ye thought worthy of your graceful rhymes, that even though greatest did not greatly scorn to hear their names sung in your simple days, but joyed in their praise, and when ye list your own mishaps to mourn, which death or love or fortune's wreck did raise, your spring could soon to sadder tenor turn, and teach the woods and waters to lament your doleful dreariment. Now lay those sorrowful complaints aside, and having all your heads with garlands crowned, help me mine own love's praise to resound. Nor let the same of any be envied, so Orpheus did for his own bride. So I unto myself alone will sing, the woods shall to me answer, and my echo ring. Wake now, my love. Awake, for 'tis time. The rosy morn, long since, hath left Tithon's bed, already to her silver couch to climb. And Phoebus gives to show his glorious head. Hark, how the cheerful birds do chant their lays and carols of love's praise. The merry lark her matin sings aloft. The thrush replies. The mavis descant plays. The ouzel trills. The ruddock warbles sweet. And goodly all agree with sweet consent. Now is my love already forth to come. Let all the virgins therefore well await. And ye fresh boys that tend upon her groom, prepare yourselves, for he is coming straight. Set all your things in seemly good array, fit for so joyful a day. The joyfulest day the ever sun did see. Fair sun, show forth thy favorable ray, and let thy little heart not fervent be, for fear of burning her sunshiny face, her beauty to disgrace. O fairest Phoebus, father of the muse, if ever I did honor thee aright, or sing the thing that might thy mind delight, do not thy servant simple boon refuse, but let this one day be mine. Let all the rest be thine. Then I thy sovereign praises loud will sing, that all the woods shall answer, and their echo ring. Hark, how the minstrels begin to shrill aloud their merry music that resounded from far, the pipe, the tabor, and the trembling crew that well agree without breach or jar. Tell me, ye merchant daughters, did you see so fair a creature in your town before? So sweet, so lovely, and so mild as she, adorned with beauty's grace and virtue's store, her goodly eyes like sapphires shining bright, her forehead ivory white, her cheeks like apples which the sun hath rudded, her lips like cherries, charming men to bite, her breast like to a bowl of cream uncrudded, her paps like lilies budded, her snowy neck like to a marble tower, and all her body like a palace fair, ascending up with many a stately stair to honor's seat and chastity's sweet bower. Why stand ye still, ye virgins, in amaze upon her so to gaze, whilst ye forget your former lay to sing, to which the woods did answer and your echo ring? Now all is done. Bring home the bride again. Bring home the triumph of our victory. Bring home with you the glory of her gain. With joyance bring her, and with jollity. Never had man more joyful day than this, whom heaven would heap with bliss. Make feast, therefore, now all this livelong day. This day forever to us holy is. Pour out the wine without restraint or stay. Pour not by cups, but by the belly full. Pour out to all that will, and sprinkle all the posts and walls with wine, that they may sweat and drunken be withal. Crown ye god Bacchus with the coronal, and Hymen also crown with wreaths of vine, and let the Graces dance unto the rest, for they can do it best. But whilst the maidens do their carol sing, to which the woods shall answer, and their echo ring. And ye high heavens, the temple of the gods, in which 1,000 torches flaming bright do burn, that to us wretched earthly clods in dreadful darkness lend desired light. And all ye powers which in the same remain, more than we men can feign, pour out your blessings on us plenteously, and happy influence upon us reign, that we may raise a large posterity which from the earth, which they may long possess, with lasting happiness, up to your haughty palaces may mount. And for the guerdon of their glorious merit, may heavenly tabernacles there inherit. Blessed saints for to increase the count. So let us rest, sweet love, in hope of this, and cease till then our timely joys to sing. The woods no more us answer, nor our echo ring. Song made in lieu of many ornaments, with which my love should duly have been decked, which, cutting off through hasty accidents, you would not stay your due time to expect, but promised both to recompense. Be unto her a goodly ornament, and for short time an endless monument.
This is my brother.
Ken, you seem to be following Benjamin Franklin's advice, wherein he said, "Ne'er take a wife until thou hast a house and a fire to put her in." I think the rabbi had it right. He must have been talking about a firehouse. You're both doing a wise thing, according to Socrates. For he said, if you happen to get a good mate, you will be happy. And I know you both have. If a bad one, you'll become philosophical, which in itself is a good thing. And I think you've already tried that on, and you have become philosophical. Take heed, though, Ken, for Somerset Maugham. He observed that American women expect to find in their husbands a perfection that English women only hope to find in their butlers. Balzac expressed it differently. He said, it is necessary to be almost a genius to make a good husband. Fortunately, Ken, I have come to know you well enough to know that you will make a good husband. But Janie, beware. That great literary figure, Zsa Gabor, has good advice for you. She cautions that husbands are like fires. You go back to fires again. Fortunately, you're in a firehouse. They go out when unattended. We run a bookstore, too, my wife and I, and we were fortunate to have a fellow, an author, Thomas Moore, who wrote Care of the Soul, and his recent book is Soulmates, Honoring the Mysteries of Love and Relationship. And reading over his latest work, I was struck by how well Janie and Ken seem to have absorbed some wisdom from their lives here too. And I thought I'd read a passage from Soulmates, which I feel that Janie and Ken have already learned, but it's worth sharing with everybody. Marriage is not only the expression of love between two people, it is also a profound evocation of one of life's greatest mysteries, the weaving together of many different strands of soul. If we understand marriage only as a commitment of two individuals to each other, then we overlook its soul. But if we see that it also has to do with family, neighborhoods, and the greater community, own work and personal cultivation, then we begin to glimpse the mystery that is marriage. Marriage is accomplished not only by human design and will, but also by grace and magic. May we all find our own magic, as Janie and Ken have. Thank you for bringing us together.
Non nobis Domine, sed nomini tuo da gloria. Not to us, Lord, but to your name give glory. And of course, these are words from Psalm 115, which the original text of which is Hebrew. So we're singing it in Latin and back into Hebrew.
idea, or my idealized version of how I think Jane and Ken feel about each other. If it isn't, they don't need to tell me. I carry your heart with me. I carry it in my heart. I am never without it. Anywhere I go, you go, my dear, and whatever is done by only me is your doing, my darling. I fear no fate, for you are my fate, my sweet. I want no world, for beautiful you are my world, my true, and it's you are whatever a moon has always meant, and whatever a sun will always sing is you. Here is the deepest secret nobody knows. Here is the root of the root, and the bud of the bud, and the sky of the tree called life, which grows higher than soul can hope or mind can hide. And this is the wonder that's keeping the stars apart. I carry your heart, I carry it in my heart.
Havana Shira, Shira, Alleluia. Again. Havana Shira, Shira, Alleluia. Havana Shira, Shira, Alleluia. Havana Shira, Shira, Alleluia. Well sung. Having run through Spencer and E. Cummings, I think we must arrive at Shakespeare. With one of Shakespeare's love sonnets, will you welcome Anne Sebastian?
There are so many sonnets to choose from, Shakespearean and otherwise, many of them dealing with love, but I actually asked Jane and Ken to choose one. Maybe Ken didn't tell you that. Sonnet number 7. Let me not to the marriage of true minds admit impediments. Love is not love when it alters when it alteration finds, or bends with the remover to remove. Oh no, it is an ever fixed mark that looks on tempests and is never shaken. It is the star to every wandering bark, whose worth's unknown, although his height be taken. Love's not time's fool, though rosy lips and cheeks within his bending sickle's compass come. Love alters not with his brief hours and weeks, but bears it out even into the edge of doom. If this be error, and upon me cruised, I never writ, nor no one ever loved.
Let's sing them another one. Bashana ha'a'a nesheva ha'mirkasef v'nistor tzipori no gedol ילדים בחופשה ישחקו תופסת בין הבית לבין השדות עוד תראה כמה טוב יהיה בשנה הבאה עוד תראה כמה טוב בשנה הבאה נפרוס כפות ידיים האור הניגר הלבן ענף הלבנה תפרוס באור כנפיים והשמש תזרח בתוכן עוד תראה כמה טוב יהיה בשנה הבאה עוד תראה כמה טוב יהיה בשנה הבאה. Sing it again. עוד תראה כמה טוב יהיה בשנה הבאה. get some fruit. We'll be back to you in about 5 minutes as soon as I can organize the second half.
If not for you, if not for you,
this has been a very emotional day to me. It's brought back many memories. One of the first things I thought of is the fact that I was brought up in an Orthodox shul in a small shtetl in upstate New York, not in Russia. And I remember my wife objected to sitting upstairs. So when we moved to Westchester, we joined a Reform temple. And recently, it's just marvelous the way Jewish custom has adapted itself over thousands of years. I went to a bar mitzvah of a cousin of mine at a Reform temple. When I walked in, I didn't put on a yarmulke, but then I saw everybody else was wearing a yarmulke. And every single one of my relatives and all the friends were wearing yarmulkes. So of course I put one on, and then I went out in front, and guess who was the only one who didn't wear a yarmulke? The rabbi. So you see, now, when I was watching the marvelous ceremony that went on outside, I get a flashback that goes back 135 years. Because the story is told, and I'm sure it's true, that when my grandfather got married in a shtetl in Russia, someplace in what's what now is Moldavia, I believe, he did not literally see his wife until he picked up the veil. That was the first time he had ever seen his wife. So now we look at that as kind of humorous, but it was once a very serious business. I met Ken 8 years ago. Many of you know, of course, that he was a teacher and a social worker, but he never lost his social consciousness. Somehow or other, when he was working with Krauss reprints up in Chappaqua, he heard of a crazy guy down in White Plains who was giving books away, just giving them away on the street. Hundreds of books almost every day. He'd set up in front of a church and gave the books away. And he understood why that was being done, and that was me. I was giving these books away to try to raise money for the homeless. When Ken heard about it, he heard that I was desperately looking for a place to store the books. He came forward, the only one. In the 8 years I was in that business, he was the only one that ever made that offer. And he said, come on up, I can have some space for you. Of course, I had no idea what the space was. I was thinking of a little garage. When I walked in, there was an area of at least 10 indoor tennis courts. And he said I could have a little space about the size of this room, and I ended up with about 50,000 books. He helped me get started in a project which raised $155,000 in this town of White Plains for the homeless. And there are many... And he not only gave us lots of books in addition, and helped us get this thing started, but we became really very good friends. And then, of course, I met Jane and fell in love with her. So they go together, I think, just as you say, well, let's keep the analogy going. They go together like a book and a dust cover. Now, which is the dust cover, which is the book, they'll have to work out over the years. And of course that brings to mind another story about, as I saw everybody milling around, another story about the, we're in a conservative temple, so I guess I can tell the story, but a young couple who were very Orthodox were going to get married, and they went to the very Orthodox rabbi to get their instructions. And they asked the usual questions about keeping a kosher house and about what was going to happen at the wedding. But of course, in a strictly Orthodox wedding, there's none of this mixing that you see here. The women and the men are kept separate. And of course, there's no dancing, as you saw before, between the men and the women, and they said, yes, we understand that, and they understand about the kosher. Now, a little more about the wedding, and they got into more details, and I won't bore you with those things. But then they got into the matter of sleeping arrangements. And the rabbi said, it's perfectly right, you can sleep any way you want to, you can make love any way you want to, that doesn't matter at all. And then Ken said, well, supposing we'd like to make love standing up. He says, that's too much like dancing. I'd like to leave Ken and Jane with this, that they should continue dancing in any way they'd like for many, many years to come. Thank you.
All to sing another song. This one, I'm told, has significance. It was given to me as something to do today by the rabbi. I'm not exactly sure what the significance of it is. The song is from the Ethics of the Fathers, the Pirkei Avot, and the words say, "It is not for you to complete the task, but neither are you free to desist from it. Lo alecha hamlacha ligmor, v'lo ata ben chovin libatel mimena." And I think it has something to do with housework. One of those little pieces of unfinished business. This is Debbie Friedman's wonderful melody. Lo alecha hamlacha ligmor, lo alecha ligmor, lo alecha hamlacha ligmor, lo alecha ligmor, velo ata ben chorin libatel mimena, velo ata ben chorin, velo ata ben chorin libatel mimena, velo ata ben chorin sheyibane, sheyibane beit hamikdash, sheyibane, sheyibane beit hamikdash, sheyibane, bimheira biyameinu sheyibane, bimheira biyameinu sheyibane, sheyibane beit hamikdash. Back to the beginning. Lo alecha hamlacha ligmor, lo alecha ligmor, lo alecha hamlacha ligmor, lo alecha ligmor. We've heard from Shakespeare and Spencer and a bunch of Brits, and I think it's time to rebalance with another American poet. Reading from the works of Walt Whitman, will you welcome Joy Runyon?
Walt Whitman wrote love poems to anyone and everyone who would listen. And this poem that I'm going to read is about finding a kindred soul. This is my special condensed edition of Whitman. It's called Among the Multitude. Among the men and women, the multitude, I perceive one picking me out by secret and divine signs, acknowledging none else, not parent, wife, husband, brother, child, any nearer than I am. Some are baffled, but that one is not. That one knows me. Ah, lover, perfect equal, I meant that you should discover me so by faint directions. And I, when I meet you, mean to discover you by the light in you.
Back to the Song of Songs, everybody. Here we go again. Kol dohodi, kol dohodi, kol dohodi nezefa. Kol dohodi, kol dohodi, kol dohodi nezefa. Migdal gal heharim, kafetz al hagvaot. Migdal gal heharim, kafetz al hagvaot. Kol dohodi, kol dohodi, kol dohodi nezefa. Kol dohodi, kol dohodi, kol dohodi nezefa. again, Oldodi, 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 Nezeba, Oldodi, 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 Nezeba.
Thank you, but I wasn't asked to speak. My niece, Janie, knows better not to ask me to speak. So, anyway, today, because of this fantastic, beautiful... First of all, I can't speak. I have a problem with my throat, so if you don't hear me, it's not my fault, it's the fault of the doctor. Today, in this joyous ceremony, I can't help thinking of my brother. My brother, Robert Sioma, Janie's father. He would have been so happy. So because of him, I have to just say that I went through with Janie. I never call her Jane. We call her Janie. Jane was her mother. So we forget that, but her name was Janie. He wanted her to speak French because we were educated there, so I went through the French period with her. And then for some reason, she decided to speak, well, I know she lived in Buenos Aires, so she spoke Spanish. So I went through that period too. And then she went to Israel. Now she speaks Hebrew. I went through all those periods with her. Now she speaks a language which really has no scripture. By the way, I was asked to do one thing today. I was asked to sign the ketubah in Hebrew, you can imagine. So for 3 days and 3 nights I practiced. And when I came in today, I was told because I'm a blood related, I can't sign. So, yeah, but let me tell you. So now I go with Jenny to a new language. A language that you cannot write. A language that you can only express. A language that is in every language, I suppose Chinese too. It's called L-O-V-E, love. And I think Janie is in love. And Janie is in love with a wonderful guy named Ken. And I'm very happy to be here to say Mazel Tov, a glücklich Jahr, and have a wonderful, wonderful, happy life.
That was one word. A poem was left by someone for Ken and Jane, and it's been passed around the room. It finally arrived with me. I'd like to read it to you. Ken, Jane, this is a poem for you from Kathy. What shall we do? Oh, what shall we play? Oh, what shall we do today? What shall we do? What shall we play? Oh, what shall we do today? I know. Let's surprise Jane and Ken. Jane and Ken, have you ever met them? Ever met them? Oh, yes, we've met them. They're getting married. Married? When? On August 7, a match made in heaven. A Jewish wedding then. A Jewish wedding then plus a happening. A happening? Like from the 60s? Sure, like from the 60s, with musicians. Like the 60s with musicians? With musicians, with singers, with joyous pixies. Joyous pixies? Come along then, and see why a happening. Why a happening? Why a happening? Because they're very happy. Then I will join in the fun. The fun, the fun. Then I will join in the fun. So let's be off. Let's be off. And wish them Mazel Tov. And all together 6 times, please. Mazel Tov. Mazel Tov. Mazel Tov. Mazel Tov. Mazel Tov. Mazel Tov.
I noticed that I am one of the few people here to read from a woman. Everyone else I have heard has read from male poets. And I'm here to read from a woman to remind you that women too make love. I'm right about it. is more about new beginnings than love, but I also find it very appropriate. There is another sky, ever serene and fair, and there is another sunshine, though it be darkness there. Never mind faded forests, Austin, never mind silent fields. Here is a little forest, whose leaf is evergreen. Here is a brighter garden, where not a frost has been. In its unfading flowers, I hear the bright bee hum. Pretty, my brother, into my garden come. And Ken and Jamie, congratulations. I wish you all the best.
Filling in till she finds Ken. It's time for them to do something for us. They're going to sing for us in a minute. But first, there he is. Good. I don't have to make up a song in Hebrew, which would have taken me a while. Come on, you guys. You two, bring children, get Nancy, do the thing. Okay? This is going to take a while. Possibly as long as organizing the wedding there. Are you here? All right.
Each language helps me tell you how grand you are.
sing one more quiet one, then we're going to clear the tables, and Rachel apparently brought music for dancing, so we have a built-in DJ. Okay, while they pass out the sheets for the Birkat Hamazon, for those of you who don't know it by heart, let's sing them one more song. Sing us one more song all together. Ose shalom imrama, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru again. Ose shalom imrama, Hallelujah.
because I can't. Because this is a wedding, there is a short introductory section which says no more tsuris, no more crying, no more schlepping or tigering or whatever it is that people do. From now on, everything is Schoen or Schoen or Schoen or Schoen Trigère or Trigère or whatever. When you're schlepping, it'll be beautiful. And that's the introduction. Then we do the benching, and traditionally when you bench over a cup of wine. Then, say the blessing after, the grace after meal. Then, having done that, we say the 7 blessings that were said under the canopy, we recite them again. And in the old days, when Jews didn't know from honeymoons and going to Bermuda, their friends would actually make 7 days of parties after the wedding, and at each one of the parties, they would recite the 7 blessings. And so it was, well, we're going to do it today. Whether you have 7 more parties or go to Bermuda is your business. It's not my business. You should discuss with your husband now. I don't know. The friends are not making. We're making one in Maryland. You're coming, yes? Okay. And so we then recite the 7 brachot. That is the 7 blessings for a wedding. And then, because those are said over a cup of wine, we have 2 cups of wine. Well, somebody's got to drink the wine. So we mix the 2 cups of wine together, and the chos and kala, the bridegroom and bride, drink from the blended wine, which is our way of thanking God for all happiness. So, the introduction. Davai haser begam charon, ve'ozilem b'shir yiron, nelcheinu maglei tzedek, shei birkat, b'nei Aharon, birshut harav. Is Rabbi here? No. Uve'hakohanim, u'benot hakohanim, maranan v'rabanan v'rabotai, hachatan, hakala, kol mishpachot hakatan, kol mishpachot hakala, v'gam ishti שיושבת כאן, נברך אלוהינו, שהשמחה במעונו, ושאכלנו משלו. And now everybody joins in with the last line of the first paragraph. We'll do it in Hebrew and then in English. Baruch Eloheinu shehasimcha b'ma'ono v'she'achalnu mishalo u'b'tuvo chayinu. Praise be the Lord who bestows all joy, from whose bounty we have partaken, and by whose goodness we are sustained. Join me please in the singing of the Birkat HaMazon. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam ha'olam ha'azan et ha'olam kulo b'tuvo b'chein b'chesed u'rachamim u'rachamim u'noten lechem lechol basar ki le'olam chasdo ki le'olam chasdo u'b'tuvo hagadol hagadol אבותינו ארץ חמדה טובה ורחבה, ונתת לנו ברית ותורה וחיים ומזון. ברוך אתה אדוני על הארץ ועל המזון. רחם אדוני אלוהינו על ישראל עמך, ועל ירושלים עירך, ועל מלכות בית דוד משיחך, ותגדיל מהרה כבוד הבית, ותנחמנו בכפליים. ברוך אתה אדוני, בונה ברחמיו ירושלים. Amen. Turn the pages. Eloheinu ואלוהי אבותינו יעלה ויבוא ויגיע ויראה וירצה וישמע ויפקד ויזכר זיכרוננו ופיקדוננו וזיכרון אבותינו וזיכרון משיח בן דוד עבדך וזיכרון ירושלים בקודשך וזיכרון כל עמך בית ישראל לפניך לפלטה ולטובה לחיים ולחסד ולרחמים לחיים ולשלום ביום ראש החודש הזה. זוכרנו אדוני אלוהינו בו לטובה ופחדנו בו לברכה והושיענו בו לחיים ובדבר ישועה ורחמים חוס לכוננו ורחם עלינו והושיענו כי לך עינינו כי אל מלך חנון ורחומתה. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם המלך הטוב המיטיב הוא היטיב הוא מיטיב הוא ייטיב לנו וגמלנו וגמלנו יגמלנו לעד חן וחסד ורחמים וזכנו לימות המשיח. It doesn't fit the tune because they shortened it. עושה שלום במרומיו So we're going to put this cup down, keep your eye on the cup. And if Elijah comes by and tries to drink from it, I got another story to tell you. You want to say Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri hagafen. I do what's in the sheet, I don't play with it. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'akol bara lichvodo. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, yotzer ha'adam. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher yatzar et ha'adam b'tzalmo, b'tzelem dmut tavnito, v'hitkin lo mimenu binyan adei ad. Baruch atah Adonai, yotzer ha'adam. So stasis v'tagel ha'akara, v'kibutz paneh l'tocha b'simcha. Baruch atah Adonai, v'sameach Tzion levaneha. Sameach tesamach re'im ha'uvim kesamech achai yitzurcha b'gan eden v'kedem. Baruch atah Adonai, v'sameach chatan v'kala. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bara soson l'simcha chatan v'kala, asher bara soson l'simcha chatan v'kala. Gila rina d'itza v'chemda, ava v'yachva v'shalom v'reyut. Me'era Adonai Eloheinu yishama, me'arei Yehuda v'chutzot Kol v'kol simcha, kol מחופתם ונערים ממשתי נגינתם ברוך אתה אדוני נשמח חתן עם הכלה. And now I'm supposed to do it again. So Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen.
I've been asked to move tables, put on other music, and let people dance. I just wanted to point out one thing. We had a big discussion about what decoration to put on the green tables. Flowers, fruit. Couldn't think of what to do. Finally, I wanted to point out what is on the tables. Each table has a segment of a painting that Zoe, my eldest daughter, made for us as a wedding gift. And I color photocopied parts of it. It was too big to put on to do one picture of. So you each have a segment to see of a painting that's sitting in our home that is our wedding gift from Zoe. So now my younger daughter, Rachel, is being DJ, and if you want to help, move the tables someplace. And there's coffee and lots of delicious cakes and